Let me ask you a question. What would our world look like without sons, brothers, fathers, husbands, and uncles?
Yeah, you're right. It was internalized misogyny that made women want to stay at home and care for their children instead of taking on men's responsibilities. And never mind the fact that for poor women, there never was an option to stay at home. They had to work to survive. But really, men had it so good at the beginning of the 1900s. They could work 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, in amazing sanitary conditions, and they got drafted. Amazing opportunities, really.
Man's world, so to speak, pussy you sour. Never giving credit where it's due, cause you don't like pussy in power. Venom.
You need to leave!
I mean a BT bruiser. Dang, little mama, you is such a loser. Okay, you is such a loser. Dang, little mama, you is such a loser.
If you still think that the entertainment industry is not trying to indoctrinate your kids, take a look at this clip from Disney Plus's new show, Diary of a Future President.
Let's run through why can't feminism happen already.
Some would say I have it all. An orange grove and a family. But they don't know what I really crave is sweet equality.
And it doesn't stop there. The female characters in the show replace words like hero and history with shiro and herstory. And it's no longer, oh my god, they say, oh my goddess. This goes to show that the forefront of the cultural battle we're experiencing right now is actually children, and there's an entire group of people that is willing to indoctrinate them through children's programming, teaching young women that they are oppressed and living in a patriarchy where they cannot be successful.
Isn't it interesting how we live in a country that gives more rights and privileges to women than it does to men, yet feminism propaganda is being forced onto kids through TV shows, telling them they're oppressed? If you were to ask a feminist, what rights do men have that women don't? They would look like a deer in headlights and be unable to answer your question. If you ask them to describe how we live in a patriarchy, when women get preferential treatment over men in society, through courts, not having to sign up for the draft, affirmative action, scholarships, etc., they would again look at you like a deer in headlights. If you ask them to simply define some of the terms they use, like toxic masculinity, misogyny, etc., they wouldn't even be able to do that.
These are all just like really misogynistic. I don't necessarily need a man to tell me. I also have females who can support me. I feel like women and men can both provide that.
Wait,
So
what is misogynistic about his statement here?
Well, I don't know why it has to be a man.
How do you define misogyny?
I don't know. I don't like this.
What? I'm just asking how you define misogyny.
Can I go?
Are you okay? Like, do you want to go as in leave? Is it because I asked how you define misogyny?
They are so indoctrinated that they can't even think for themselves. And instead of doing what they want to do, they do what feminism tells them to do, which leads to them being miserable because it isn't what they want.
Girls with no fathers in the home have lower self-esteem. Okay, fine, that sucks, but also women with low self-esteem are more promiscuous. No father families more likely to be victims of abuse, especially with single mothers. The more opportunities a child has to interact with biological father, the less likely they are to commit a crime or have contact with the juvenile justice system. Okay, another way to say that is men and women who are incarcerated, the population of the prisons mostly encompass fatherless homes. Now here's something that no one else has mentioned, which I think is cool, and I don't really say this eloquently. If a man and wife raise a child, they're less likely to end up in jail, but they have the same statistical chance as children raised by just their father. So if we want to keep children, adults, out of prison, mother, father, or just father. Well, we don't want to hear just father, so let's try to keep the families intact. I think that just seems better.
You know, some women get pissed off that I do men's rights videos, but let me tell you why. I'm not going to say who this person is, but someone very, very, very close to me. His wife just told him last night that she was leaving him. Now, this guy is the best guy. He would give the shirt off his back to anyone. He's always been the primary parent to their daughter so that she could do whatever she wanted to do. He gave her the absolute world. Whereas they've been together for 9 years and his family knows nothing about this woman. It's the most one-sided relationship I've ever seen in my life, and now she's leaving with absolutely no explanation other than to gaslight him into thinking that he didn't do enough. When in reality, she used him to build her confidence back up and then left. I saw him yesterday and I didn't know that person. He's so broken, and that is why I fight for men's rights. Tell me that men aren't abused.
Let me ask you a question. What would our world look like without sons, brothers, fathers, husbands, and uncles? It has taken raising sons for me to realize how toxic society can be towards men. Oh, the good ones are taken. The future is female, or men need to behave, are constantly tossed around, cloaked in feminism or equality. But why is this okay? Simply being female doesn't make you better than a man. Men do not deserve to bear the brunt of another man's actions any more than a female. Men do not deserve to be judged by their gender, just like women. The future is female doesn't even make any sense. I'm blessed to have had quite a few good ones in my life, role models I know my sons will learn from, but that's not to say I haven't known a few bad apples. I just don't allow those experiences to define half of the human race. If you think along the lines of men need to behave, the future is female, or the good ones are taken, maybe ask yourself why you deserve one of the good ones when you make no room for positive masculinity.
It took having sons for her to realize how poorly men are treated by society. I appreciate her sharing message because a lot of women are completely unaware to the mistreatment of men simply because they're men until they have sons that have to go through that mistreatment.
So my other brother Ben has a construction company, and last week I think it rained like all day on Tuesday or something like that. Point is, so I called him up and I was like, hey, do you have any work for me? Like, I kind of feel like working. And he was like, yeah, you can help with, I think it was like free floating flooring. Either way, I was helping with flooring like all day. So you're like hunched over and like you're getting up and down. My back was killing me, and like by the end of the day, my knees were like cracking. And the day just drug on so much, and it just like made me so appreciative of men, because like there are so many females that are just like, oh, I'm a grown independent woman, I don't need no man. And it's like, for me, like I joke about all the time because I am independent, I pay all my own bills, I take care of myself, etc. But like guys are so underrated today, I feel like, and it's just sad because they are freaking awesome. So like I really appreciate guys and just all the hard work and stuff that they can do that females just can't.
This right here is what the modern day feminism has done to the family unit. This feminist movement has completely destroyed the value of a beautiful woman. We're in a world where when men call women beautiful, they're called simps. When a woman actually speaks truth and has half a brain, she's called a pick-me. It's just what a time to be alive. You know, it used to be all the good ones are taken, but now it is all the good ones are single at home and not playing the game anymore. Marriage used to be a covenant made before God, a unity between two people becoming one person. And now it's just a business contract. It's a way to step up in the world. And there's too many women out here, beautiful women, and the prettier we are, the more feminist they seem to be. But a lot of men don't even want to take the time to get to know a beautiful woman. They won't even approach her because they think that she's going to be a stuck-up biatch, you know? Too many women out here have used men as a meal ticket and using men for their money and their status. And those same women also want to be treated like queens. And a man will call her beautiful, and she'll be like, you know, that entitled feminist attitude of, yeah, well, of course I am. It's disgusting. And those types of women don't deserve to be treated like queens. They deserve to be treated like peasants because they're out there just using people. There's men out here that are just using women to get what they want, and then they discard them. They go on social media, they go on
dating websites, and they just use them like they're toys. And so women, we have our walls built up so high that God himself can't get over them. And our modern day culture has, at least in the Western culture in the States, I don't know what's happening in other countries, but here in America, we've completely forgotten what marriage is all about and what a beautiful woman can bring, the value of having a woman behind you and supporting you and loving you, because too many women are out here breathing in this toxicity on social media. And if I'm the only person that's bringing in a different perspective, if I'm the only person today that can snap you back into reality, then all of this will be worth it. But I'm just making these videos to bring a different perspective, because there's just this ocean of toxicities, of misinformation swimming around, and self-entitlement. We're in a time of this narcissistic attitude. We all have it. It's just like, it's all about me and what makes me happy, and me.
If you found value in today's video, you can match that value by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. You can also donate if you would like via Super Thanks, which are located to the right of the like button. I would also suggest you watch this video next, as YouTube's algorithm thinks you would enjoy it. I greatly appreciate all of your support, and I wish you all the best, and to tear of yourselves. Farewell, everyone.